lovely people. And like I want to think of you, I always think of you, active family members. How are you? I'm sure that you're still relaxed and enjoying the holiday. I'm here working. All of us are here working. We're not complaining. But anyway, work here is fun, so we're not complaining. Happy Easter if you're still in the mood. Students are still celebrating because they're still on vacation. Some of them, though, were happy. And then during the Easter, a whole lot happened. A whole lot happened. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
How did you enjoy your Easter?
Oh, I had fun. I rested.
I know.
Rest,
And
yes.
you updated me a whole lot.
Oh, yes, I did. I should be a blogger.
Don't worry, I'm going to get to that.
Well, I traveled.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I traveled
You
out
ate yam?
of Abuja.
I'm sure you ate yam.
I eat more yam in Abuja self than where I went to.
Okay.
I traveled for my uncle's memorial. It's been 10 years.
Oh, okay.
So we had that on Monday. So as at yesterday, I was on transit back to Abuja. But I thank God the Easter period was peaceful.
Yes, we thank God. Emina?
Me, Ejiri did not send me jollof rice. There is this packet of jollof rice they used to send me every Easter. My old neighbor. Honestly, I'm disappointed.
What's her name?
Ejiri.
Maybe they traveled.
I don't know, honestly. And she will not allow me to call her and ask for the rice.
But you've now announced it on it.
People these days, we're no longer ashamed.
We know they cook again for Easter. No.
Why?
I only cooked for a friend of mine, Ismail Agiwa. Apart from that, I didn't cook for any other person. Yeah, things have changed, so eat in your house.
No, Ejiri, don't listen to her.
Yes, don't listen to her anyway. I cooked. I actually enjoyed it. I had a lot of young people, around. They made a lot of noise that I like, and they did a lot of dancing. Once in a while, I chipped in 1 or 2 legs for them. And then, but at the same time, I was busy getting updated by Abuja. She kept flipping and flipping and flipping.
Oh, wow.
When I saw the cake,
Yes.
oh my God.
No, I have to give her flowers. I must say, she's some actress I followed for a very long time. Then I started following her daughter because her daughter is an influencer. And there was something I learned from that wedding, that you don't have to have too many friends.
Sure.
There were 3 friends
That stood out.
Eniola, Toye Abraham, Chioma Goodhead. And see, I always tell people, have people that have your back.
Sure.
Have people that have your back. And for me, I've not seen a wedding so coordinated, so together. People were busy on my status for 2 days, and somebody said, they tire. I said, no. When you see good thing, celebrate with the thing and all that. And I won't lie to you, I wish them everything they wish themselves. And for Iyabojo, they call her the godmother, the queen mother. She must be the queen mother for a reason, because I heard she's helped so many people.
Yes, she has.
So that's the prize you get.
You see how a lot of Nigerians turned out for them.
Oh yes,
and
they did.
my favorite guy also came.
That- who is
Adeleke.
that? Oh my God.
The dancing governor. He's my pal, and I liked what he did.
No, but
he sang in Yoruba, he sang in Igbo.
Praise and worship and
yes.
everything. He's just he's a man after my heart, because you see, I tell people to live life on their terms. It makes him happy. So who cares what any other person feels?
Okay. What about the Ashebi guys? Did you get to watch a bit of them? Did
No.
you see the okay?
Oh
The
my
To be
Ashebi-
honest, I didn't even know who the Abuja was.
Yeah,
So I
because
thought
you are
I
not
was
into
Josie.
Nigerian movies.
Yeah,
So,
and
yeah.
people were starting. I said, who is it? What does she do? Is she a politician? I had no idea,
Idea, no.
honestly.
Yeah.
But I saw the wedding pictures and I was
Yes.
wondering. In fact, what stood out for me was that the girl was marrying a Tanzanian.
Yes.
So I was wondering, okay, what? But then I saw the affluence. Who be this person?
Who be-
Who be this person? Then
And you know that it's not really, the affluence wasn't a Yabo spending all the way.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm touching back what she said.
Yeah.
She said, Chioma, you mentioned Chioma. Yeah, I heard Yabo saying that Chioma
did.
begged her to pay for
Reception.
the reception. That Chioma wanted to pick up the bill for
Okay.
her. That she practically begged her to
Yeah.
let her pick the bill. And she allowed that. She blessed Chioma. She made it very open. Some other people, you are kind to them. They tell you, we thank God, we've done our best. She confessed to the fact that people supported her. Friendship is very important. And when you have good ones, they actually show up. I like the fact that Platinum from
Diamond.
Platinum
Oh my
came,
God.
all of them from this thing, and the Ashebis he stood out.
No,
Vicky James
give
did
our
so
designers.
well.
Give our designers.
Did
that
you
her?
see the wedding? Did you see
Yes.
the wedding?
Yeah.
That's Mercy Aigbe. That's an actress.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Who fantastic actress and a producer
Of
as well.
course, of course, she's
Yes,
very good.
you know.
And you saw the wedding gown, 45.
Vicky James, she said she had to. She said she prayed that it was not her that did it. It was God that made.
She said
that
she prayed before she started.
Before she did it, the stones and the beading. I loved the simplicity of that dress. You know one thing the girl did. Every designer was a Nigerian. From Prudence to, you see, and that's what we should start exporting. People now are coming to Nigeria to now sew their things here. And I won't lie to you, I am so proudly Nigerian when it comes to clothing.
Which one is the 45 million naira dress, I think?
Is a wedding gown.
It's a
See,
dress that was done by Vicky James.
the wedding gown
Yeah.
For the bride.
this
For the
particular,
bride, yes.
wedding.
Was
All
done
right.
by Vicky James.
That said, we're really happy, and I must, speak for Iyabo. One of the times she actually came out to thank God because for a long time she was a single mother, a single parent, and a lot of people think that when you're in that status, especially you're in a glamorous field, your children will end up, somehow. But her child is, with her head straight, and then she didn't bring shame to the family, and at the same time she married and married well. The child is not subsumed in the mother's firm. On her own, she created an image and firm for herself. So I think that's a symbol for a lot of women who, for one reason or the other, maybe death or something, their husbands are not doing well. Don't think because the man is not around you, you will not succeed. You can always stand out and do your best, without bringing shame to your family through your children. But speaking about that, we Christians, we were sitting on Sunday and we were enjoying the Papa, message. And nothing in the world gave us the inkling that the Pope was going to die the next day. And it was shocking. I don't know, how did you feel about it? I mean, Pope dying on Easter Monday.
Well, I felt like that was a good way to go
I actually
for
thought the
the
same
pontiff.
thing. I actually thought the same thing.
So I also feel as if because of the office he held and the fact that he had been so ill for such a long time, he probably, I hope, was in a better state of spiritual preparedness to meet his maker than if you just go to bed and then you don't wake up or you are in a sudden crash or something.
True.
So I want to believe that he was in a state of spiritual preparedness. He had been calling for prayers from laity. I'm very certain that the clergy were also praying for him and everything. So I think that this was somebody that was probably in the right frame of mind to meet his maker as at the time he was called, and I pray that God rest his soul and accept him into his bosom.
Amen. We all pray for the same thing too, and I know that in his last message he emphasized peace and oneness in the world, which was what he represented. And in tribute to him, I hope that all of us will, carry on that message. May his soul rest in peace.
Amen.
And then talking about death, I was also equally shocked to my bone marrows. I used to call her your twin sister, Shimite. What happened to her? It was sad. It was sad, and it goes back to a whole lot of what we have discussed here, severally, about women not speaking out and women not walking out when it's too dangerous. Look at the pretty lady. She did the African port.
African port on NTA. Yeah, that's where everybody knew her from.
So it was so sad because for Deltans, she's represented the rope for economy. And to think that this happened between her and her husband, what's your take?
Well, Shimita she's like family to me because I knew her when I was 10, so she was a little girl, and she has an elder sister who were mates, Agatha Amata, and Shimita was a go-getter. even when they lost, I think she lost her dad when she was like either 5 or something. But you see, one thing she did was that she didn't make that a way of saying, I will not make it. She always used to say, anything is possible if you believe. And when I woke up that morning, and her cousin called me and said, we had lost Shimitia. And I said, what happened? She just said, oh, she has been, he's finally killed her. He's finally killed her. So I was now saying,
finally. So that means they
so, and you see, this is what I always say, is that it saddens my heart that we see the signs. When you marry a husband that cuts your friends, cuts your family, you already know that something is wrong. I'm still speechless, because it could have been avoided, because it was the help that called the brother that the girl was dying, that he has to come. Because you see, the biggest problem I have with women, everybody condemns me outside that because I'm single, I'm always saying that marriage is bad. And I tell them, I'm not saying marriage is bad. What I'm saying is that the essence of womanhood should not be, I have to be married.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the essence of it is, it doesn't make sense. That's her third husband. So what is the big deal? And you know the thing that, like she said some weeks ago, when a woman is empowered and she stays in an abusive marriage, that is what I cannot handle.
I don't get it.
I'm telling you.
Coach, you're a mental health coach. What do you think should be, a final take for women on this?
To be honest, you see, you cannot, we're all different. So it's subjective.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you. Your whole being should not be marriage. Everyone, I made it, let me digress a bit. A few weeks ago, my sister was telling my daughter, who is 12, something about, is this what you're going to do in your husband's house? I lost it. I have never used that phrase for my children, because I've never believed all my child can be as a girl's child is a wife.
Is a wife.
I think, tell her you're going to change the world. You're going to build 6 skyscrapers, maybe a machine that will fly, or a house. That's what I talk to my kids. But the thing about being in abusive relationships, believe me, there's no way you can say you won't do it. It cannot happen to me. Because as a mental health coach, my dear sister, the kind of things where this my ear don't hear. Even my experiences as a person, to be honest. Because you see, we all go through challenges in life. Not just in marriage, from childhood. As a girl child, waiting person never see. So you see, we are all different. And there's something called trauma bonding.
Yeah.
Trauma bonding?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
You love it. You know this person isn't really good for you.
No,
but somehow you cannot detach
yes,
yourself from this person. Sometimes they're the air they breathe. You love a person so much, you cannot be without that person, even when he's harmful to you, which is the reality for many women. So that's why I'm very careful, to be honest. You cannot condemn it, because you don't even know when you find yourself in that situation.
Yeah.
You can fall in love tomorrow, Joy, with one narcissistic, negative, toxic man, and then you wonder, oh my God, how is the hell is this happening?
Yeah.
It does happen.
Yeah.
You don't ask for it, it just happens. And not everybody is self-aware and strong-willed enough to pull themselves out. And let me tell you something about toxic people. They are not outrightly toxic.
Yes.
They are manipulative.
Yes.
They will manipulate and use your head, do yeah. So it's not as easy as we think it is.
Yes.
It takes the power of God and then a strong will to be resilient to fight it.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on again to our real focus. It's been the festive period, Eid and Christmas all put together. And I try to read in between the lines. The two celebrations are all based on sacrifice, love, given without restriction, giving God, giving mankind. So I know that a lot of us have actually done a lot of that giving. But I noticed that in Nigeria, we have so many philanthropists. I'm confused with the meaning of that word. Joy, you're laughing. We have a lot of philanthropists, we have a lot of NGOs that are given, and I don't understand, is giving supposed to be a blessing, an art, or a show-off? That's our focus for today. But before we do that, let's get to find out, within Nigerians, here either, do Nigerians prefer to be the givers all the
taker
receivers.
Jesus.
I prefer to be a giver because though the Bible says give and it shall be given back unto you, but it has always been my nature to give because I know once I give, I will definitely receive even more than what I give.
I prefer to give, but giving again has its own, will I say dimension. If you don't have, you can't give. But when you have and you're a giver, you always give.
Definitely. Receiving is also good though, but definitely it's good to give. And when you give, you get more blessing in return. That's it.
I like giving and I like receiving too. Giving shows that you care about people. When you give to people, you show that you care about people. And there's a way it makes me feel good when I give to someone that I care about. So
I prefer being the receiver. I don't have money to give gifts, so if you give me, I'll collect.
Giving because I derive joy or pleasure in giving people, so I would go for giving.
I prefer to give because a giver never lack.
I give and I prefer the givers. But as it is now, I don't have that much which I want to be giving all the time. But I give. The scripture says, blessed are the hands that give it than the ones that receives.
He said, blessed is the hand that giveth, and the hand that taketh. Right? What was the song? You were singing?
Lucky Dube, I
Lucky
think.
Dube. Babe.
I don't like the guy. That's why it came so. No, I don't like him.
You don't like
That's
it?
the same person that sang that over my dead body to make tea for a woman, blah, blah, blah.
So
kind
that's
of
why you
thing.
don't
I'm
like him.
Excuse me? Will you die for making tea for a woman? It's a sign of affection.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
like,
also part of giving anyway.
Yeah.
But
I'll give it the tea.
what's your own take? Do you like to give?
I like both, to be honest. I like to
okay.
give and I really like receiving. It feels really nice.
The way you say the receiving,
Yeah,
it's so nice.
yeah.
What about you?
I like giving and receiving.
Oh, that's nice.
Go right with it with your answer.
You know, we like to quote Bible most of the time, and most of the time we don't do it. Even to give offering in church, they don't give. So we're not talking tithes, offering. So, but now they are quoting Bible of if you give, you receive. For me, people don't understand giving. You don't have to give so much. It's the thought. For me, I always tell people, there are sometimes, instead of giving the person money, you can give the person food. Or if you see the person, like there's this lady in GT Bank. When people's kids are in school, she has this little kid. I noticed the child is roaming all over the place. So one day I asked her, I said, Madam, everybody picking this school. Why is this child not in school? She said, she couldn't pay school fees. So you know what I did? I went to the bank. I said, how much is the school fees? It wasn't that I had too much. But I just felt that I would go and buy this thing and eat. And how much was the school fees? But let me tell you what saddened my heart. I came 2 weeks after that day in the bank, and that child was there.
It wasn't the school fees.
It wasn't the school fees. So there are some times.
The money you gave her was appropriated to another
thing. And you see, it saddens my heart that there are some times you tend to give people, and you now find out that, was there any reason to give? And I think I like to give people who really need it. I'm not one of those people that give people at the top, pastors and all those kind of people. No, because I think there are many people there who need the money more. And I think Nigerians like to give people who are rich because they want to have this, for me, show off. But one thing I know about myself, anybody that is watching, my birthday is coming up, I like to receive.
But you know something, Joy.
Yeah.
The thing about those who give those at the top is sometimes you see it's the how do you call it? It's PR.
It's PR.
It's PR. You, Oga at the top, you want to get contract. Oga at the top, you want to get supply. So you have to be,
But
you know,
do you think do you get?
Do you know
Some of them
another
do.
thing? Another thing is giving people at the top. If you look at that quote, it's lonely at the top.
Yeah.
It does happen. It's
It's not very lonely,
if you it's very lonely at the top.
They have sycophants all over.
I'm telling you,
Leave the
it's
office
lonely.
and leave the
Yeah,
office.
It's
Leave the office.
When they
and
leave
see.
office,
See, is the
they will call people, they won't
sycophants,
answer.
Yes.
is the sycophants that even make it even more lonely
Yeah.
because they know those people
Yes.
are sycophants.
Yes.
They know. They are looking for very genuine people.
Yeah.
So, and you find out, maybe you come to Devon's place and you say, okay, Devon, she's from Benue. She must have a lot of yam. She must have a lot of food and all of that. If you think so, go and find out what is the kind of food they don't have in Benue State.
Yeah.
If it's chocolates, beverage and all of that, bring it to her. Even the yam self, you might be surprised you bring it. I am telling you, I went to a big man's place. I don't want to call the person's name because it's popular. So I went to the man's place and I found out something that I usually don't like to go to somebody's place without something to give. And I didn't know what to buy. And I was going from the office here. I stopped by, bought banana and a bottle of granules by the junction of, by the gates. I got to the place. I had it in my bag. This aroma of the food coming from their, cooking area was so nice. I felt ashamed bringing that thing. So I carried my bag and that one like this because I felt ashamed. At a point he said, Madam, what are you hiding in your this? And I said, it's banana and granite. He said, why are you hiding it? Bring it out. I brought it out. Before I knew it, right in front of me, he ate so much.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And I was asking, I said, why? He said, this is the first food I'm eating. And we're talking about 6 p.m.
Whoa.
6 p.m. That was the first food he was having for the day. Nobody thought he needed food. Nobody thought he could eat food. And food was in abundance.
his own home.
In his own
Yeah,
home.
that happened.
He was busy. He didn't have food. And nobody remembered because they felt Oga was in a meeting. One meeting after the other. It does happen. The banana and granite was a blessing. So it doesn't matter what. This is somebody that can buy a whole farm of banana. But that small one that I carried in my bag meant so much. That's where a giving counts. When we give, do we give people because the first person that answered the question said it was transactional?
Yeah,
I'm giving because I will get.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
But do you give with joy? Because it's going to give you joy. It's going to make you smile. I'm Catholic. I went to the grotto, one of the days when I was on leave. And then when I finished praying, my daughter was still praying. So I stood out, watching her. I saw one man who was fervently praying and had pulled out his shoes. I looked at the shoe. The shoe was very, it's not just one, it was worn out, And then I was watching a lady, I don't know who that lady was, came out, bundled money with a small tissue. I saw what she was wrapping. I was watching her, but she didn't know I was watching her. She slipped it into that guy's shoes.
And walked away.
Yeah. As my daughter was coming out, the man was coming out. He put his shoe. My daughter said, let's go. I said, there's a drama I'm trying to finish watching. He tried to put his leg. He was getting stuck. He now brought it out and shook like this.
Money fell out.
Money. It's not that it was a roll of tissue. He brought, I said, he now opened it. It was money. He ran back to where he was praying and was now thanking God and was praying. He was looking around. You can imagine the kind of a blessing that woman has attracted to herself that day. Do you understand?
Yes.
So it becomes an act.
Yeah.
But let me not empty it. Just, you were going to say something, Devon?
I think everybody who gives with the hope of receiving. Not necessarily from
that lady that
person.
gave, okay.
Not necessarily from that person, but from God.
Okay.
True altruism is very, very, very hard to find. Most people, even when they do good, it's either they're afraid of hell.
They're afraid of hell.
They're afraid of hell, yes. Or they want to get into God's good books.
Okay.
Or something. So, even when you give and you're not expecting something from the person you gave it to, because the person is indigent, whatever, you are hoping that life will be kind to you because of this kindness that you have done to another person.
Sometimes.
You know. So I think for the bulk of humanity, people who are doing good are hoping that that good they are doing will attract good into their life.
Amen.
They are not doing it and then hoping that I'm just doing it, whatever. I think most people, when they do good, they are hoping that good things will come into their life. In Christianity, for instance, there's a belief, it's not a belief, it's written there in the Bible, that God will visit the sins of the fathers on the children up to the 4th generation. By that same token, you keep hoping that, okay, if that exists, maybe if I am good, some blessings will spill over into my children's lives, maybe even into the 4th generation.
Sure.
For the average person.
Sure.
Of course, there might be people out there who are doing good for the sake of good, whether anything comes out of it or not, it doesn't matter. But I think that for the majority of people, the good they do, they hope something good will equally happen to them. And they are disappointed. Frequently, we hear people say, such a person has lived such a good life, at least as far as the eye can see. Why does the person keep attracting bad stuff into their life? Well, last year, his wife died. This year, 2 of his children have died. Despite the good he does. So I think it's a general perception that if you are good, if you are generous, if you are kind, similar energy will come your way, you know. So whether people are relying on that or not,
sometimes, to be honest, sometimes I believe that there are people who just do good because they just want to do good. Not necessarily because they believe there's something that will come after it, or God said. I remember times I've done good, and to be God who made me, I didn't even think of anything coming from it. At that point in time, I just felt it was the right thing to do. And sometimes I do because I feel I'm already blessed. God has blessed me. Let me bless somebody else. So I'm not expecting. So I think it's a generalization. It's subjective. People do things for different reasons. There are those who do it because God said so. There are those who do it because they want to show off. And there are those who do it because they just feel like doing it. And there are those who do it in gratitude. On that note, like me personally, I don't give beggars money. You can lie down in front of me from morning to night. I don't give you shishi.
I don't give beggars money too.
Because I tell my look,
they can do
the majority of beggars are Muslims, northern Muslims. Begging has become a livelihood, a business. And sometimes I wonder how it became so, because it has become cultural. Because in Islam, we are not supposed to beg.
Even in Christianity.
Yeah. Even when you need something, you only to beg for that minute. Like if you're hungry, beg for that moment, that food for that minute, not for tomorrow's food. So that you go and work and get for the next meal.
But we have people. It's a habit.
Yeah, we have people who have
career
begging,
now.
yes,
Begging is a career.
When I want to give someone, if I want to bless someone, I bless a shoe shiner. I bless a wheelbarrow person. Or that kind of woman. You see, for me, women who stand around in the banks, I don't give them shishi.
Yeah.
Because it's business.
Yes.
You know.
Okay, I would like to know when.
I wanted to chip in something. It was Easter in my church. It was Easter everywhere.
Yeah. I thought your church was different from.
No, that's why I said. I remembered when I was trying to make a statement, and there was something my pastor did. Even though we have a food pantry in my own, but we realized that, you see, when you have a food pantry, people are embarrassed to go to the food pantry and all that. So what our pastor did was that church did it, and some people volunteered or decided to give, from rice to fish to oil. So what the church did was to go to that environment, because when my friend walked into church, he said, church is very full today. Then I cracked a joke. I said, church is full during Easter
and
Christmas crossover service.
Because there is food.
Because there is food, and most of the time if you go for crossover, the way you start is the way you're gonna. That's the mentality we have, and that day when I was at the car park, I saw joy. You see, if they didn't do anything that Easter, my joy that some people who couldn't feed themselves, church gave them stuff. And that's what I want us to do more of that.
Generally.
Yes, I think it gives.
Okay, but
that's
my
an act that's
take
very
now,
good.
my take now, I would like to find out when is given done wrongly. My thinking is, I could be wrong,
Yeah.
but when I'm going to visit a poor widow
Yes.
to give gifts,
Yeah.
I carry camera,
Yes, I agree.
I finish, I
Terrible.
post it,
Yeah, terrible.
or I even come to NTA
Yeah.
and launch it. I find that thing very annoying. I don't know if I'm
I
wrong.
think it's a show.
I don't.
For me, I think we're all different. We're all wired differently. I give people and not tell people that I'm doing that stuff. Because one thing I realized that growing up, we used to have workers, and my father said, when people come to your place, let them be better off
Yeah.
than
When they leave.
than when they came.
Yeah.
So, you know, and that's why I said that the things you learn when you're much younger, it lives with you in when you are even older. So me, I have never believed that I have to give and tell people I'm giving. I have to do show off. I have to bring the cameras, and especially social media now. You see, NGOs. Sorry to say, NGOs for me are all thieves. Oh yes.
That's a generalization.
No, well,
That's
okay,
a-
okay.
that's
Sorry for generalizing, but 80% of people who went into NGOs collect the money and don't do what they are meant to do with the money. So what they do is that when they are doing things, they will now do video, they will now do stuff to show the people who gave them money
funding, yeah.
that this money that they were given, this is what they've done with it. But we all know that it's not true.
If I may chip in here, because I've worked in the NGO sector, your funders require pictorial evidence of the
And
work you
video.
did.
Yes, yeah.
That is not the same as being generous and then filming it to go and show off.
Yeah.
This is documentation.
Okay.
That is different.
Yeah.
They may not do it up to the extent that they were supposed to do it,
okay.
but I don't know about that. I've never worked in any NGO that you know, all these small ones that just come up with, and maybe you can say the same of churches. Somebody just wakes up overnight and all of a sudden the spare room in his house is a church. They've never passed through the four walls of a seminary really. So the people are going into different things to stay alive. But when it comes to NGOs, all those videos, sometimes you even have it to do a documentary.
Yes.
And air it, you put it on social media, so that is different. I think what Liz is trying to find out is on a personal note. Maybe if I go to my village, well, Benue and Plateau are being ravaged now by herdsmen. You know, people are being killed in droves and all of that. And, you know, you go somewhere, you find one village that has been practically wiped off, and there are orphans all over the place. And you decide to do an act of charity and you film it. And I don't know, personally, if it encourages somebody else to do the same thing.
Thank you. That's where I was going.
And reduce suffering.
Then that's okay.
It's fine.
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's when you do it and begin to brag. If it were not for me, that community would have this. It's because of me that community has drinking water. It's because, so for me, it's relative.
Yeah.
I remember an episode of Oprah I watched where everybody sitting in the audience got a car. Brand new car.
Yeah, I remember that.
Give it to Oprah.
It was life.
And she's a billionaire in dollars. She was, at the time, she was one of the wealthiest women on earth. You know, and she did that. She could do it. People who are American were cynical about it. They were like, oh, Jerry, it's a tax write-off. I say, yeah, even if it's a tax write-off, she could have chosen to put the money into art.
Yeah.
The other day, there was a piece that went for millions of dollars, and it was just a banana taped to a canvas. She could have done that. But no, everybody, people got cars, and we all know how much more convenient your life becomes when you have a car. And when I watched that, it motivated me. I was like, whoa, if I ordinarily like to think of myself as a generous person. But I also thought to myself, if God ever blesses me to this level, I would love to replicate this.
Yeah.
You know, just shock people with something,
Show love.
you know, something that makes
Go make difference.
you know, that makes a difference in their life, you understand? So for me, I think it's relative. And then apart from that, if you're a public office holder,
That's different.
I totally want you to show off. Show us that thing, show us that work you are
That's
doing
totally
with
different.
the
They're not doing
taxpayers'
anything.
money.
Thank you, but that's different. You see,
No, some of them say they are silent achievers.
Yes. No,
which
I don't
silent
want you to
see,
be in
public
government and
office
be a
holders
silent achiever.
that are
Be a public
philanthropists
achiever.
are actually doing philanthropy with government money. That is totally different. We cannot even talk about that.
What of the ones that are not doing?
That's not
even
philanthropy.
It's not even
That's not
philanthropy.
service you're
It's not
doing.
philanthropy I'm
No.
talking now.
Okay.
I'm talking of in your capacity as the DG of wherever. We don't ever see anything about what you are doing, and when you are asked, you say you are a silent achiever. No.
Well, you see, please let me expatiate on this one. You
Okay.
see, I think this is the problem. This is the reason why we're having problems in Nigeria.
Okay.
If you are the DG of an organization, let's be realistic. How much is your salary? We are the ones breeding corruption. Oh. We expect these people in public office to do wonderful things, to come and change the
not
society.
understanding me. I'm saying in line with the work you are supposed
In,
to
their,
be doing.
in his industry or in his
Yes,
office.
in your capacity as DG, the
Within
work
the
where you
organization.
suppose they do. Yes,
then
the
that-
normal
how
work
would
where
you
you
know?
suppose they do.
How would you know?
The people in the organization will know.
What do you mean by how?
Because it will be the people in the organization that did you go and investigate? You understand?
No,
Why?
she's not talking
Okay, let
about
me-
her knowing
I-
from
I-
her own
I-
angle.
no,
Within
let-
the organization where
Not
you
even
are.
within the organization. Hard go better GB is because of Dora Akunyili
I know
that
we'll go
people
there,
knew
yeah.
something like NAFDAC existed in Nigeria.
Sure.
That woman would walk and would call NTA and say, come, we have confiscated
yes.
this thing and we are going to burn it. Come and film it.
Okay.
Whether you liked it or not, you knew Dora was working.
Yeah.
Because of Dora, men started realizing that there's value in having daughters. Back then, you used to go out to do vox pop, and somebody will be, you know, you vox pop or different. Somebody will say, I have 4 daughters, so I'm not struggling for a son anymore
Yes.
because of Dora.
Yeah.
Now
talking
I
about
have seen
philanthropy
that.
now.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't talking about.
Okay.
I just went in that
Okay,
direction. I said,
okay.
I don't
She
like
made her
public
job
officers.
public.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I
She
don't
made
like
her job
public
public.
officers who keep quiet, who keep mute, and then when you talk, they say that they are silent achievers. No. That work you are supposed to be doing, document it, let us see it.
But I'm sure,
Just as the
but I'm
NGOs
sure
do.
it's been documented.
But
No,
excuse,
not all.
but
Yeah.
excuse me.
How many governors
No,
do
you are
see what
saying,
they
no,
are
you
doing?
just made a statement
Yeah.
that you are a public office holder. When their kids get married,
Okay. Okay.
don't we see it?
Yes, we see it.
Do they care?
Meanwhile, when they walk road, we
so
know they see the
that's
road.
Yeah, you are supposed to be
you
building
see,
roads, and
do you
we
know
have
what
no
Do you
idea.
know what I said some weeks ago? There was this man that was 50, Obigubana. I don't know him, but I love and respect him. The party that he did, I heard he did spend 1 kobo. Why?
Goodwill.
Goodwill.
Goodwill in the sense that you have made people.
Yeah.
And that is why I tell people, teach people how to fish.
Yeah.
Stop giving people fish to eat. And I said that they should make it as a thesis. They should go to schools and make Obikubana as, let them teach people.
Part of curriculum.
Yes. I'm telling you. Look, if you give, it doesn't reduce you. Help people. Empower. The thing here is that he made a statement. He said, I came into this town. I was living in this town with 4 people and my wife.
And my wife. Yes, I heard that.
The problem with us is that we just think Obigubana just became rich. And I was watching him 50 for 50. His friends brought cars 50. There was one thing he did with the phone. I don't think Samsung is ever going to have an ambassador like that one. His friends who had money, he said, okay, all of you buy 3 million. Then they just went randomly in that place and they gave people who in their lifetime. Me, I know most of them will sell that phone.
Yeah.
You understand? And you see, for me, he gives you when nobody is seeing.
That's the truth. Because from his birthday, we found out that he had made a lot of people. You know, quietly doing
Yes.
that.
I was even shocked. He made, this guy was under him.
Who?
Gubana chief priest. 'Cause when you look at Gubana chief priest, you think he's even
I think
richer than
that's
the
his-
Gubana.
That's
No,
his
that's
cousin
it.
or
That's
He used to
something.
work for him. No, he used to work for him.
his,
I think I read it in
That's
the...
his
Yeah.
boy.
But
Yeah,
can,
that
can I
was a
add something
boy.
quickly? You see,
Yeah.
there are some people, because I need us to, get this straight. Somebody has a right to be silent. Not everybody is vocal. There are people who work
No, which is fine.
and they don't have to go out onto the
It's-
social
which is
media and say it.
fine.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And there are some people who do
Yeah.
it and they want to encourage people to do it.
Which
so
is
it's
okay
okay.
too.
You know, that
Yeah.
you can be a silent
Yeah.
achiever. There can be, we're not all the same.
Yeah.
We cannot be lumped into a box.
Now I'm going
People
to
do
I'm going
things
to throw
differently.
something at you.
Yeah.
You are a Muslim,
Yeah.
and Devon will help us with the Christian angle.
Yeah.
What does the Quran say about giving, about charity,
Thank
how
you.
it should be done?
The Quran says that when you give, your right hand, with your right hand, your left hand should not know.
Bagam.
Which means it should be silent. But at the same time, it also says in the hadith that if when you give and you say it, it encourages others to do the same, then tell others, show others so that they can do same. You see it? Just like she said earlier.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to do things, not because it's the intention that counts.
Yeah.
When you're doing it for other people to do, you're not bragging about it. It's me that did it. It's just like Devon said, you wouldn't have had so if I hadn't done it. No. So the Quran tells you to give with your right hand, and your left hand should not even know. But at the same time, you could give and tell others to encourage them to give as well.
Okay, Devon.
It's the same thing, in fact, it's the same words.
Yeah.
When you give your left hand, your right hand.
It's the
should
same in the
not-
Bible.
Yeah, yeah.
You see?
That's how it is in the
Same
Bible.
thing. I don't know if it's in the Bible or if it's
in
a
the
Catholic
Bible.
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
It's
I
in the
just
Bible.
know that alms giving is
It's in
encouraged.
the hadith,
and
actually.
when you do it, don't allow your right hand to know what your left
Yeah.
hand is doing and all of that. For me, I am talking about public office holders.
Yeah.
If my governor is building a road somewhere,
You're supposed to.
I want to know. I don't want to find out by
Devon,
mistake.
your governor
It should
building
be-
road is not charity.
It's not
It's
charity.
our
Yeah.
his job.
Yes.
An example.
Uh-huh.
That, you see,
It's
that's
his
why I was
job.
confused too. It's not philanthropy.
No, it's not
It's not
philanthropy.
But you know,
It's
the
not
way it is in
philanthropy.
Nigeria,
Yeah,
when
it's
governor
like-
builds road,
yes,
it's as if
it's
he has
like
done you a
bad
favor.
out.
Exactly.
You're going too far. When
Yes.
governor pays salary,
He's doing you a favor.
Exactly.
he's doing you a favor. Meanwhile, you worked.
So, these things are not acts of charity.
Yeah.
They are the work you are supposed to be
Yeah,
doing.
yeah.
And some people don't do this work and they
Yes.
shroud it under silent achiever.
Okay.
That's where I was
Yeah,
coming
I
from with
okay,
regard
okay,
to that.
okay.
Yeah.
If you are holding taxpayers' money,
You're
if
accountable.
it is possible to bring the angels from on high to come and sound trumpets, Abi,
For what you have done.
when that road is commissioned, bring them.
Bring
I
them.
want to know.
Let us
Why do
see.
we even commission roads? Please, let's just talk about this matter.
No, you are
You
Yeah,
make
because
road
other
for how
people are
many
not
million?
doing
And
it
then
now.
come and mark another millions of naira to commission the road. Why
No,
must
it doesn't
we-
take
don't
anything to
even
commission
thank
it.
God.
Have you seen the budget, the money?
but
they
That's
mark for
where they
commission?
start stealing
But
the
you
money
see-
now.
but
It
you
doesn't
see
take
for- you
anything.
know, like what
It's just
you
to call
said
the press
about-
to come and
about
cover.
Christ-
Auntie, go and check.
about
Commission
Christianity.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That when that happens, it's
It's not
because
this
people
thing
want
you
to
said
steal.
about Christianity.
We can hear
is
you.
that it says that the God that sees in secret is going to reward you in the open.
Yes.
And that is one thing I always hold on to. Do good, do charity. You are not waiting for reward from man.
Yeah.
You are waiting for reward from your Father who is in heaven.
Either here or in the hereafter.
And
Anyway.
sometimes you may not even get the reward when you want it or how you want it.
Want
and
it.
also- and it's okay.
Yes,
All right, I was
that's
going
fine.
to ask a question, and somebody has actually, inferred to my mind the question. He says, "I love to give, but sometimes people,
They never give you.
people, your sentence is not correct. But I want to see people do evil, and
Yes.
change me from doing them, something like
Yes.
that. So I'm wondering, is there a point where you begin to lose your charitable skills?
Yes.
When they
And
take
is
it
it,
for
is
you.
it
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
No, it's not even your own. You are doing mugu. My own, I'm talking spiritual.
Okay, go ahead.
You see, like me now, I've reduced giving cash to people.
Why?
I do transfer. Sorry, I'm a paranoia person. Sorry.
If you're going to withdraw that cash, wouldn't they still use it to do the same thing?
Yeah, it's not the same
It's
thing.
not the same.
From what I understand.
Spiritual is not
Are
the
you
same.
serious?
Yes.
That's where you're coming from?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I'm coming from. Yeah. Do you know, let me tell you how bad it is. Even though everybody says, oh, you watch Yoruba movies, so you're warped and all
yes,
that.
I
See, let me
think so.
tell you. Years ago, I had a friend, fantastic friend, a guy, and every time, you know how I say, this man is a good man. He would just say, Joy, yeah. How are you coping? I say things about, I say, Romeo, account details and all that. And I realized that anytime he gives me money, I'm perpetually broke. Sorry.
So his charity is not charity. It's siphoning. Spiritual siphoning.
There is, you see, whether we like this thing or not, it's for you to have that spirit of discernment to know. Because I was just, every day I said, why is it that this guy give me money every day? I will work, I will do everything. I'm perpetually broke. And so I now stopped. So when he's calling me, I'm not picking up. You know, somebody now say, Joy, now what for you today? Everything now spree. But excuse me, there are some people who give acts of charity and they are collecting something in return. Take it or leave it.
To be honest,
wow.
I don't think like that.
I didn't know that
I don't think
perspective.
like that. And I'm Muslim. I do azkar in the morning, and I do that's like a dua, a prayer, a prayer for protection in the morning, prayer for protection in the evening, and all in between. Whatever happens, I take it. That's how God wanted it. If you are giving money, I'll collect with my 2 hands.
No, I think we're wired.
I'll collect.
I think we're wired differently.
It is God that protects. If that money, whatever you are doing with it, now you saka. Me, I'll collect it. Bismillah, and then collect the money and walk pass.
You see, for me, it was during my small time in politics. You know, you spend so much time in the village, and everybody around me, oh, you're too quick to shake hands with people. Yeah. Oh, you're too quick to give money to people. There are people that will take from you, and you will never have anything again. And did it. So anytime you want to give money to people, give it to this person to give. So to err on the side of caution, I started doing those things, but it's not a personal belief. My personal belief is, if I have not harmed you, and I don't have any ill will toward you,
that's what I think.
And you take from me to go and try and harm me,
it's not going to work.
The thing that will follow you.
Not only you know.
Yeah? Because me, I don't do juju, I don't do witchcraft. I know all those things exist and they are potent enough in their own way. Yeah. What I do is God Almighty.
Yes.
And in my culture, we have a proverb that says, don't knock an orphan. This is even traditional belief. As God don't collect my 2 parents, so innocent and collect them. Now they fully in charge of me now. So that's the only person I lean on.
I like that.
Yes. And my biggest charm or my biggest talisman or whatever is, I keep my spirit, my mind, my thoughts clean. I don't wish any man evil.
And it works.
That's my biggest shield.
I can do unto others what I want done unto me. Yeah.
So, with this, it is a firm belief from in my soul, in my spirit, that I don't mean you harm. I don't will any. I literally don't care what's going on with you, as long as you're not trying to. So if you take maybe you take my name, or you are able to pick my hair tie, or my shoe. You go and drop it in one shrine somewhere. The thing that will follow you.
Anyway, the truth is, just as Devan said, that's my belief. But I generally think that because people are abusing your charity does not mean you should stop. You know, you may not continue on the same direction, but there are always genuine people around, because I always think that if you look inward, you find out that at one point or the other, you too were found wanting in certain domain. So, and if you could stand yourself, since you didn't kill yourself, you should make room to stand others. But more messages are here. Sorry to ask, I just joined the program. Please, is charity compulsory? James Ade, I don't know where you're writing from, but is charity compulsory? I think yes. Do you think yes?
No, you see, for me, giving should be a lifestyle.
So it's compulsory.
Yeah, it's
no, not necessarily.
It's not like compulsory. It should be part of you.
Yeah,
it should be part of you.
If you don't, if it's not in you, see, I know people who are so wealthy,
but they don't give.
They don't give. So
and then those who don't have, and
they are the ones that are giving. And you know, there's something I tell people, especially some people who don't have. I tell them, buy banana. But you see, you people want them to keep giving and giving and giving. And you cannot even do something little. And I say, but you buy credit on your phone. You buy this. Okay, buy me mango. buy me something. You see, if you buy me that mango, I love mangoes.
Giving is not just in buying.
I love
Giving,
mangoes.
giving is not just money.
Yes, people don't
if you're a
call
shoe
me
shiner
up, how
and
are
I've
you?
been using your services, perhaps on my birthday, you could decide, this shoe I'm going to shine for you for free. Is for free. Do you understand?
We miss
giving,
it.
You know.
We miss
anyway,
the
let's
giving
take more
thing
because
there.
our time is running off. OC from Abakaliki says, giving is an assignment from God. Everyone has something to give. Another, not necessarily money, but love, care, encouragement. Okay. OC, you just emptied what I had in mind. Thank you for, sharing that thoughts with me. Good morning, ladies. I am Michael, watching from Abakaliki. Abakaliki people, when I get light too, and your NTA is standing.
That's a
your
good
conversations are quite interesting, and I'm enjoying it. But about reason why people give, I think they vary. But for me, I mostly give because it gives me happiness to behold the joy in another person's face. Oh, that's sweet. Most times, it makes me happy throughout the day. God bless you. May your hand never lack, Michael, so that you can make people happy. And one day, you also make us happy.
Amen. And Joy's birthday is coming up.
All right. I love to give, but sometimes people pay me evil for good. Oh, okay. Please. I think it's the same person. Just don't give up. Always give, no matter what happens. And let's see if we have more messages from the WhatsApp. And definitely we have. Somebody says here, hi, I love to give, and it gives me joy. When you write, if it's possible, give us your name and where you're writing from. But I know that before we leave, I'd like to find out, beyond money and material things, what are the other things we can give? You mentioned phone call. I don't know.
You can give time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing. You can give time.
Acts of service. The problem is, if it's a problem at all, if it is possible, try to fill the particular need somebody has. Yeah. If somebody is in dire need of money, and I come around to come and sweep their house, they will not
understand.
They won't appreciate it.
You see this thing?
It's also the same thing with what they say, love languages.
Yes.
Even with your children, with your spouse, you could be somebody who really likes hearing sweet things, but you are with somebody who
doesn't,
who likes giving gifts. You appreciate the gifts, but the gifts didn't come with, oh, you are so beautiful, I love you, so the gift falls flat.
I know. I agree.
So depending on the nature of your relationship with that person, there might be need to study what the pain point is.
Most of us don't do that, because I know somebody wanted money and I gave the person food and he gave me back the food.
Oh, wow.
That's okay. You give it to
all right. Somebody, Teve from Abuja says, I love your program, especially contributions from Devon and Coach. Thank you. Good morning, my beautiful mommies in the studio. I'm Julia Tone from Otukpo, Benue State. My take on giving is, it is good to give, but sometimes people discourage you from giving. Imagine when you give to some set of people, same people turn to stab you at the back. Oh, sorry. And to those who give and video it, sometimes is to encourage others to like, support, and unlike me, I love giving. I have platform whereby I do giveaways on Wish in times. I don't get this, but I understand that you like to do giveaways. All right, thank you so much. When you're doing giveaway, remember that gate man, remember that security man around you who does not have. So some people go to internet and do giveaway. Meanwhile, their house helps are hungry. Please start charity. They say it starts from home. So start your own from home. And in line with that, my charity starts from home. I actually have gifts for my people.
Oh. What are the gifts?
I do.
I'm already excited.
Thank you, sweet.
Happy Easter.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
And I told you.
Perfume.
Okay, you gave out Happy Easter.
Thank you.
So charity starts from home, and we started it here on NTA. Courtesy of my bosses.
Oh, perfumes.
Perfume.
Thank you.
All right, on that note, we say bye-bye. Continue to
Don't
give.
lack.
We will not lack. We know.
You are blessed.
You're blessed.
See you next week. Bye.